This isn't a rumor. It's not a marginal indiscretion. It's a public statement, signed and relaunched, destined to reopen one of the deepest rifts of recent years. The alleged appointment of Archbishop Edgar Peña as Apostolic Nuncio to Italy has been called disconcerting and scandalous by Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò, who released a statement via his official Facebook account, which was later republished in full by LifeSite News. The fact is this: the current substitute for General Affairs of the Secretariat of State, one of the most sensitive roles in the Vatican government machine, would be destined to represent the Pope to the Italian Republic, a choice that, if confirmed, would have enormous symbolic and diplomatic weight. And it is precisely on this point that Viganò's intervention focuses. The publicly released text reads, "I have reported to the superiors of the Secretariat of State the crimes in which Edgar Peña was involved, in particular the abuse of 2 minor seminarians and the deaths of the 2 other non-heterosexual persons. The words are reported as they are, without exaggeration. The accusation is direct and detailed." Viganò places his first reports in 2002, when he held the position of delegate for pontifical representations. According to him, the incidents involving the 2 young seminarians were confirmed following further investigations by the then rector of the major seminary of Maracaibo, Father Enrique Perez, and by a commission of lay people who sent a detailed dossier to the Secretariat of State. We are therefore not talking about an isolated rumor, but rather about formal documentation sent to the relevant authorities. The reports, according to the reconstruction provided, were repeated in subsequent years. But the former nuncio claims they went unheeded. In 2011, Peña was ordained bishop, promoted to archbishop, and appointed apostolic nuncio. At that time, the current Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, was acting as papal representative in Venezuela. Viganò claims that the dossier on Peña was kept in the archives of the Nunciature in Caracas and in those of the Secretariat of State. On August 22, 2018, in his well-known memorial, Viganò declared that he had once again reported the entire affair in detail. Meanwhile, Peña had been promoted by Pope Francis to the role of substitute of the Secretariat of State, a position that places him at the center of the day-to-day management of the Roman Curia. The issue today isn't just about the past. It's about the message further promotion would send. Viganò publicly asks, how does Leone intend to proceed? What message will he send to the corrupt inside and outside the Roman Curia if he decides to promote Peña? The question is not neutral. It directly calls into question the pontificate of Leo XIV. The text also contains a reference to a broader context. Viganò recalls the web of blackmail and vulnerability revealed by the Epstein-related dossiers, speaking of the presence, in centers of power, of figures who could be compromised for morally serious behavior. The suggested parallel is clear. A system becomes fragile when those who govern it can be exposed to pressures or secrets capable of conditioning it. These are serious accusations. But in the debate, it's important to remember that some Venezuelan bishops have defended Peña in the past, citing false and slanderous rumors. This too is part of the picture. There are conflicting versions. To date, there has been no public ruling that has established the facts in the terms described by Viganò. And this is precisely where the crux of the matter emerges. Why has a definitive and transparent investigation never been made public to clarify the matter once and for all? If the accusations are unfounded, it would be right to say so unequivocally, restoring honor to those involved. If, however, there are elements of truth, the problem would assume very serious proportions for the credibility of the Church. In his speech, Viganò doesn't just denounce, he makes specific demands. Peñapara, he states, must be prosecuted, removed from all his positions, and sentenced to the most severe punishment. These words evoke not just a disciplinary warning, but a formal proceeding. There's a further point, one that directly concerns the Italian state. Viganò calls on the government to reject the nomination, refusing to accept the accreditation of the new nuncio. Accepting, he argues, would make the government complicit with those who would cover up unworthy behavior with a diplomatic promotion. It's an unusual appeal because it affects the balance between the Holy See and the Italian Republic. The role of the Apostolic Nuncio is not merely ecclesiastical. He is also an ambassador to the state. A refusal would not be a symbolic gesture, but a diplomatic act of great significance. It would mean opening a formal tension between Rome and the Vatican. The affair occurs at a delicate historical moment. After years marked by scandals related to disorderly conduct and internal cover-ups, the faithful's sensitivity is extremely high. Every appointment is interpreted as a signal. Every promotion is interpreted as a choice of sides. Peñapara's possible transfer to Italy would have enormous symbolic value. He would be the Pope's face in the country hosting the Apostolic See. This position requires not only diplomatic expertise, but also recognized moral credibility. The text released by Viganò states that promoting him would mean confirming the protection this shameful individual has enjoyed until now. It's a harsh judgment, expressing a precise conviction, that of continuity in the management of responsibilities. The issue isn't just personal, it's structural. It concerns selection criteria, the transparency of procedures, the Church's ability to clearly address accusations that touch on the most sensitive areas, that of young people, seminarians, and the morality of pastors. It's not just a diplomatic career at stake, it's trust. If there are victims, they await justice. If the accusations don't hold up, a clear and documented denial is needed. Silence, in these cases, fuels suspicion. The question that remains unanswered is simple. Will a public and verifiable investigation be launched, or will the appointment proceed, treating it as an internal act not subject to debate? What do you think? If you liked the video, comment Amen. God bless you.